It all started with a lie, a beautiful, perfectly crafted corporate myth about a $40 late fee. The real history of Netflix didn't happen in a video store. It happened on a dusty, winding mountain highway. Every single morning in 1997, Reed Hastings and Mark Randolph carpooled over the mountains into Silicon Valley. They desperately wanted to sell items online, but shipping heavy, clunky plastic VHS tapes was financially impossible. Then a revolutionary new technology arrived from Japan, a light, paper-thin plastic circle called the DVD. To test it, they slipped a cheap disc into a simple greeting card envelope to see if it would survive. They dropped it into a local mailbox, risking 32 cents of postage on a wild, unproven gamble. The next morning, the disc arrived at Hastings' home flawlessly, uncracked, unscratched, and ready to play. Fast forward to September 2000. Netflix was growing, but they were bleeding cash and facing bankruptcy. The founders flew to Dallas, walking into a massive glass skyscraper to meet the kings of entertainment. They offered to sell 49% of Netflix to Blockbuster's elite executive team for $50 million. The billionaire CEO, John Antioco, looked at their online business model and literally laughed them out of the room. Blockbuster dismissed Netflix as dot-com hysteria. It would go down as the most expensive mistake in retail history. Today, Blockbuster is entirely dead. Netflix is an absolute global media superpower worth hundreds of billions. On the flight back to California, the rejection crystallized into a cold, fierce, and unwavering determination. If Blockbuster was going to weaponize their massive size, Netflix decided they would weaponize something better: data. While Blockbuster ran physical stores, Netflix built a digital ecosystem that tracked every single user click. They launched an algorithm called CineMatch, pointing users toward low-cost indie movies perfectly tailored to their tastes. They abandoned individual rentals, launching a flat subscription with no due dates and absolutely no late fees. Suddenly, millions of iconic bright red envelopes began flooding neighborhoods across the entire United States. But mass adoption was terrifyingly expensive. Buying enough DVDs to fulfill demand pushed Netflix to the financial brink. Then, the catastrophic dot-com bubble burst. Venture capital dried up, leaving Netflix completely exposed and alone. Realizing their mistake too late, Blockbuster dropped late fees, instantly destroying $800 million of their own revenue. Wall Street panicked at Blockbuster's sudden loss of profits. Activist investors revolted, and their stock plummeted. Choked by billions of dollars in legacy retail debt, the brick-and-mortar giant began to crack from within. Customers abandoned the physical retail experience entirely, leaving store aisles completely empty, quiet, and barren. Store by store, town by town, the yellow and blue neon lights were systematically turned off for good. In 2010, the gavel slammed down. Blockbuster officially declared bankruptcy, erased from the modern world. But physical paper mail was never Reed Hastings' final goal. It was merely a tactical Trojan horse. In 2007, broadband internet finally matured, and Netflix launched their historic Watch Now streaming service. Millions of miles of fiber optic cables instantly transformed Netflix from a mailing service into a digital utility. They fundamentally changed human culture, inventing a brand new psychological phenomenon known across the world as binge-watching. When classic Hollywood studios realized the threat and locked away their movie vaults, Netflix didn't flinch. They bypassed Hollywood entirely, building global production studios to manufacture their own massive original content. Today, the streaming empire spans nearly 200 countries, serving hundreds of millions of active screens simultaneously. It took vision, data, and the sheer audacity to face down a giant. The future belongs to those who build it.